Hello, hello, Becky.
Hi, Henry.
Hey,
How are you? It worked. It worked.
good. No, I think you need to pass the host over to me.
I would be delighted to do that. And then I can continue visiting with my mother.
Yeah,
That's the
thank you.
beauty of this, so you can do it anywhere.
Thank you for doing it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No problem. Up and here comes Mary Lou.
No, she's always here.
And I have it set so you have to let people in.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep.
Oh, perfect. Well, have a wonderful meeting, Henry. Stay cool.
Thanks again.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You'll be all right.
Mary Lou. How do you do?
Hello, I'm still working in the assessor's office, so I'm going to keep my video off and keep my speaker off.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, I want to comment when it gets to the school desk, and I just wanted you to know that letter, if you want your name on it or Miriam's, I don't care. I put mine on because I was writing it. And
Yeah. Well, I guess formally, I guess it should come from the whoever's, yeah, one of us. I don't know.
Is that you as chairman?
As chair, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that on instead, but then I have to track you down for a signature. I guess that was the reason that I left it at my own.
Well, if it's going to give me so much trouble to redo this, I mean, perhaps we can talk about it. Let's see what we figure out here.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm going to take my speaker off now.
Okie doke.
But I will want to comment on the school desk.
Okay. I guess we'll be dealing with that. Well, maybe we could deal with that right away. So it's not on the list of things here. Hello, everybody.
This week, the threat of a constitutional crisis hangs over Tallahassee as both Democrats and Republicans prepare to cross.
That's something from me, I think.
Oh, yeah. No.
Is that coming from me?
The Florida state legislature.
It might be from me.
State Senate, Republicans outnumbered Democrats 25.
No, what I'll do
There you go.
No, I think that might
is
have been
quit it.
you. I think
Okay.
my Spotify account started playing a podcast. Sorry.
No, it's what can happen. I'm going to quit out of email so I don't get bogs. Good evening, all.
Hello. Hello to you.
Even
Okay,
further
we're
away.
waiting for Karen. Karen's supposed to call in.
3.
We have a quorum.
We do. Let's get started. Welcome, everybody, and I want to acknowledge the presence of Bert Fernandez, who is interested in joining our illustrious group. So I thought perhaps we could start off with Bert. Maybe he could introduce himself briefly and express his interest in being here.
So my name is Bert Fernandez, and I have been a resident of Shutesbury since 1980.
Oh.
I came to Massachusetts originally for a job in Greenfield. I practiced pediatrics for 40 years and retired about 5 years ago. And I have, for a while, I've been thinking that it would be good since I retired to be serve on some committee. So when Henry reached out to me, I thought that this would be a good opportunity. I had to look up what is it that a historical commission does, but researching, preserving architectural, archaeological sites of historical importance, that's something that I find interesting, and not an area of expertise, but definitely something of interest to me. So I would love to be part of this committee and hopefully be of help in some capacity.
Nice to meet you, Bert.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Bert.
Hello. I only see 2 people.
I'm here. Miriam's here.
Miriam.
There's a few,
Hi, Miriam.
there are a few that are not on video. Right.
Yeah, this is Janice. I'm just a black box.
And Mary Lou is
And Leslie is waving.
I'm just an associate non-voting member, and I'm off. I'm turning it back off because I'm in the assessor's office working at the same time.
Okay.
Right. So do you know everybody else here though, Bert?
I have met Leslie. I know Miriam. I know you.
We've never met Bert, I don't think.
There you go.
I don't think
Greg?
so.
Huh. And I thought Shutesbury was a small town.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm not sure if there are any questions from any of the committee members for Bert. Forum's open.
Nope, not for me.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna.
Bert,
Yeah.
I know you spend part of the winter in Puerto Rico. Would you be able to participate while you're away?
I should be able to participate if it's on Zoom.
Great.
We usually go for 3 months, January through March.
Excellent timing.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to vote on your membership and then post it to the select board, who will make the final.
Before we vote, Henry, maybe we should just talk about, we have 2 vacancies and we have another applicant also who's interested, who's on vacation, couldn't come tonight.
Oh,
and that's Mateo.
Mateo, of course.
So I forwarded to everybody the letter that Mateo had written to us. So, we could take it separately, but we should, consider both of them and then decide whether we're both going to recommend them to the select board so we can get them appointed, because with only currently 5 members, you know, we need to have a quorum of 4 in order to have a meeting. So if, you know, if a couple of people are out, we can't meet. So that's a problem. We want to get people, we want to fill these vacancies so we can have regular meetings.
Yeah. So we do have a quorum today. We could vote on both
Yes.
Mateo Pangallo and Bert Fernandez. Anybody want? Okay, so
Did I miss the starting of the meeting as such?
Oh yes, I thought we'd already started, but
you might have before I got on because you had a quorum.
Yeah, I did say let's get started. I assume that's good enough.
Okay, good enough for me.
Yeah. So I moved to appoint Bert Fernandez and Mateo Pangallo to the Historical Commission. Do I hear a second?
Well, Henry, we can't appoint. We can only recommend.
Recommend for appointment. Sorry.
All right. I'll second that.
Right. So let's go around. Defant?
Yes. Aye.
Geddes, aye. Carlton?
Aye.
Stone?
Aye.
Okay, great. And we do have somebody taking notes at the moment?
Yeah, I'm taking minutes.
Great, thank you.
Should I send an email to the select board, or do you want to do that, Henry?
I'll do it as chair.
So just so you know, Bert, the select board has to put it on their agenda to appoint you. And they've started this policy of wanting people to come to the meeting so they can ask you questions or whatever. So you'll need to keep on top of that, because they won't necessarily notify us when they put it on the agenda. I mean, I'm not always watching the select board's agenda. Okay. So either you attend or Henry would need to attend to represent you.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually have it on the agenda at some point.
But they might not tell us that they put it on the agenda.
That's right. In the next couple of weeks, I presume. But yeah. Okay. Excellent. Moving right
Henry,
along.
Would you CC the Historical Commission inbox when you send that letter?
Sure. Let's talk about minutes. I thought those minutes were from 6:25.
Yes.
And I don't have them in front of me.
6:25 or 5:25?
6:22.
6:25.
No, 6:22.
22.
Okay.
Maybe we get a chance to look at those.
If you give me a chance to screen share, I can do it.
Would you do that, please? Yeah.
But you got to make me host. Am I able to screen share?
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Tell me when you want me to scroll.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. Scroll, if you like. Okay.
Changes?
Changes, none from me. Anybody have changes for this?
Nope.
Okay. All right. shall we then move to approve these minutes? Yes, I will move to approve the minutes. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it, Janice.
Yep. So we'll go around. Paulton.
Yes / I.
Prashant.
Aye.
Geddes, I. Stone.
Aye.
Right. Oh, we got someone else here. Oh, it must be.
Janice.
Karen.
Karen.
That's Karen.
Karen.
Hi.
Hi,
Hey,
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Karen.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Welcome. Okay. So we just took a couple of votes. We had a quorum, so we went ahead and voted, Karen, on the minute,
Oh,
on the minutes, on the minutes, and we also approved both Bert Fernandez and Matteo Pangallo for as future members.
got two new members.
Yeah. Two volunteers who are interested, and here we have Bert, who's on camera, and you can't see him, but
Right.
Hello.
no, you can't see. But he gave a short presentation, and he's interested.
Okay. The meeting things that you gave me were for June.
Right.
Yeah, those are the minutes. The minutes.
And we just approved those.
Yeah.
You didn't have a July get together.
No, we had some problems meeting. All right. So moving right along, update on Shrab, the Shrab project. Just for those who are new, could somebody just unpack the abbreviation there? Shrab.
That's the State Historical Records Advisory Board.
Right.
So we got the grant money, and we voted on the purchase on the budget, and so all those materials were purchased and delivered to town hall, the old town hall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the next step is going to be doing the reorganizing and refiling and moving things in the filing cabinets into the archival folders, and maybe consolidating things, hopefully seeing if there's any duplicates of things. Perhaps there'll be decisions we need to make about getting rid of things if there's duplicates. We don't want to get rid of anything until that decision's been made, though. And we have more file drawers now because we've got a larger filing cabinet.
Oh, good.
So these are materials that are in the old town hall, Bert, and there's some degree of organization, but we're going to try and streamline it.
Okay.
So we bought a bunch of materials that you just heard.
Yeah. So
What
I think
kind of materials?
it's
office materials.
Well, it's what were you asking? What's in the collection, Bert?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
This is a collection of historical documents and just material about town history that's been either donated to the commission or has been collected in various ways. Leslie Bracebridge kind of has taken a leadership role in that over many, many years. And we have a little storage closet in Old Town Hall that's locked. We only have access to it, belongs only to the commission. It's not part of town records.
Okay.
And we got a grant last year to have an archivist, a professional archivist from the state, come in and give us a plan for how to tackle organizing and indexing it, with the goal of perhaps someday being able to digitize some parts of it to make it available to the public and preserve it from deterioration. Like there's photo albums that have been donated from families. So those things are vulnerable and might decay over time if they're not digitized. we had sort of set as a goal that we were going to try and tackle one drawer a year, is I think what we thought was kind of a modest goal. So I think that might be the next step for us, is to kind of start working on that.
Does it need a volunteer?
Well, we're going to need multiple volunteers. I think the plan would be kind of having somebody refiling things while somebody sits with a laptop and kind of
Catalogs.
in a spreadsheet. So I had started developing a spreadsheet for doing that, and I'm happy to work with somebody if we want to get started working on that.
Sure, I'll volunteer.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be willing to help too.
Okay.
And yeah.
So that leads to another question I just wanted to ask, which is that I'm not really clear. Greg, do you have keys to the storage closet right now?
For the moment, yes, until I guess that project's finished.
Okay.
Saves me going to town hall every time, and
okay.
Well, but I can share them with you.
Well, I have keys,
Yeah.
so I'm okay on that.
Yeah,
But
Bert,
I think that, you know, we need to agree on the organizational structure that we're going to use before we start tackling it.
I have a question. Am I allowed to volunteer before I am approved?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can volunteer too for.
Yeah, you can be an associate in the same way that Leslie is not on the commission, but she does a lot of work for the commission in an associate capacity. She doesn't get to vote on anything. So until you're an actual bona fide member, you can be an associate just on because you want to be, because we accept you.
Well, I can help with that too if you need more help.
Well, we've got 3 people who have keys. Is that correct? Leslie, Miriam, and myself. So maybe, so obviously if we're going to have meet there, then one of us has to be there to open up, one of those 3.
So I just want to remind you guys that there's a policy that was voted on about the storage closet in years gone by, which is, you know, that officers would hold the keys, and we made a provision for Leslie to have keys, and Greg, because you were working on this project with Leslie, you got keys, but you know, we have to be careful about being responsible around all of that. I know that Grace Banish has said that she wants to be notified when people are coming into Old Town Hall.
That's fair enough.
So just an FYI about that. My understanding. Is that right, Leslie? Is that your understanding?
Yes, she does want that. And just so everybody knows, I still have the same keys that were given to me when I was town clerk and needed to be in there. And it's pretty hard for me to do research without being able to go into the records. That's why I'm holding them at the moment. I would have to give them up to.
No, we had voted, Leslie, we had voted to let you be in that role. So that was something we had agreed on.
Thank you.
We had carved out a role for you as a research consultant for us.
Yes, and I was only expecting to have the keys while this project's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm involved in it.
Yeah.
okay, any more discussion on Shroud?
Well, the only thing I would say is that I don't know what the conditions are right now this time of year. I would imagine it's pretty unbearably hot in there. And what the problem, of course, is that it becomes unbearably cold.
Right.
So I think we need to maybe think about September, October, November being, and then the spring being optimal months for working in there.
That's correct.
So maybe we should plan to have some work parties in September and October for this.
Yes, good idea.
Okay, before we move on, I just want to remind you all, you probably got a note from the town clerk saying we need to come in and essentially re-register as officials. I'm not sure it's a swearing in or anything, but it's, you have to sign off with the town clerk, right? So please do that as soon as possible. I am myself, you know, have not done it yet.
And I forgot about it, so I need to too.
I got to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll go and
That
do it.
is that a rotating schedule thing? It used to be every 3 years. You were appointed for 3-year terms, so maybe you got them. I can look. Maybe everybody doesn't have to. I'm just looking online now to see who's.
Yeah, only if you got if you got a note from the town clerk on this. Okay. Next up, update on the guide board restoration project. This is a project that Bert, I don't know if you know about. You've seen there's a kind of a signpost. It's an antique looking signpost with directions in the town common.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a wood structure. So
Box.
6 feet tall.
Okay.
Anyway, we're going to restore that, and so we got funding through this so-called Community Preservation Committee, and our own funding. It's going to be, anyway. That's what we're updating now. Who would like to speak to that?
I can speak and apologize that I haven't gotten any further on it. That's about it. And I think Miriam has agreed that we'll sit down together or the phone or something or other and try to really figure out the next steps. It's somewhat confusing to me how to deal with the consultants and the scope of work. I'm just sort of wallowing in that.
And in case Bert is not familiar with it, we did get funding from town meeting, correct? To
yes.
And I've got to sign off on that. Yes, which I'm going to do tomorrow. Okay. Any other comments on that project?
Well, what I told Janice, we talked last week, was that I would take a look at the draft scope that she started working on and see if I can help refine it. And then we'll come back to the commission with a scope of work that we can then talk to to vendors about.
How much is it going to cost?
Well, we don't know exactly because we don't have the quotes yet, but I think the CPC gave us what, 10,000? And then we have, possibly 1,000 from the Friends, and then possibly 4,000 from our own accounts.
Well, that's half of it.
We don't know how much it may not cost that much, correct?
We don't know, right? That's what we have budgeted. We don't know. We don't have the quotes yet.
Right.
We got some general quotes that helped us kind of flesh this out, and they were all over the place, which is why we were kind of leaning in the direction of this one restoration specialist who seemed like he had a way towards doing it that seemed reasonable. So, but we'll get quotes from different people.
Okay. Moving right along.
And then the process, just so you guys know, is that once we come up with a vendor that we're recommending, then we need to go to the select board and they need to approve it as well, because it's on town property. So there's a few more hoops we have to jump through.
Historical signage on commons. Everybody should have gotten a Miriam's version of this, possibly. Get a chance to look at it.
I did, but it was fairly long. I wasn't exactly sure how we were going to deal with that, what kind of sign it was going to be or what.
We don't know yet. In fact, Miriam submitted that draft copy, right?
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if we should attempt to edit it ourselves before we submit it to some Indigenous elders, or if we should submit it as it is to some Indigenous elders to get their feedback.
Has it been submitted? I thought, Miriam, maybe you had submitted it to someone already to look over.
I did, and they have not gotten back to me.
Okay.
Okay. Who did you submit it to?
I gave it to Eva Gibovic, and she was going to possibly pass it on to Lisa Brooks.
Lisa Brooks, right. Who was at Amherst College, right?
A fair bit of the content came from Lisa's research as well as some other people's.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, in that case, Lisa's probably going to approve it because if the content came from her, when Mary Lou and I were working on it, we were considering involving some other folk, and I'm just looking through my email now so I can name them. But I mean, I don't know where to go from here in terms of getting Indigenous input.
Well, I think the process we should do is if people have edits, probably send the edits to me, and then we should come up with some final text that we want to send out for comment. I think we should decide,
Yeah, that makes some sense, yes.
So
rather than sending stuff for approval that we actually haven't sort of edited ourselves, yes. So we should do an internal, yeah, you just said if you've got any suggestions, we'll email them to you.
Yes, just email them separately. Can't send it to everybody.
Right.
Because that'd be for the open meeting law, but you can send individual edits to me.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no rush on this, and we want to do this right. So, get as much input as possible on it.
Right. What are you thinking like a, sorry.
Greg, who are you thinking? You said you were thinking of sending it to folks, but you didn't say who. So
yes, I'm just looking for that information in my inbox. Relying on memory is not my greatest point these days. Here we go. This might be helpful.
While Greg is looking, just comment on it. I thought it was a powerful statement precisely because it is steeped in the empirical facts of land tenancy, right? I mean, who owned the land? When was it transferred out of the hands of local indigenous people? And that's something that presumably is hard to debate, and it tells you something about that history. Of course, there are other things that we could mention, but I thought that was a very powerful statement for people to realize, how that worked, how it is that the land was transferred.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I know Rhonda Anderson is one person, and still looking.
Are you envisioning it as a wooden sign or a metal sign or printed on like an aluminum thing? Or, some historical ones are really nice and they have like three-dimensional lettering, but this is fairly long for that sort of thing.
Well, there's quite a story to tell.
Yeah.
So it's not just going to be like the ones in Leverett, which say you're entering an historic area.
No.
So answers, I don't know, but I've got experience in signage. So when we get to, when we get to, we would like it to be very much permanent, as permanent as possible. And so we'll get, I mean, once I would think the processes would be, we edit the content, we have the content approved by native elders, and then we'll see how much copy we've got, and we can design a sign and see what we, how much space we need.
You know what might be a cool idea, I'm just thinking of it now for the first time, is the idea of having a kind of an installation where maybe it'd be a multi-sided. I'm just thinking of the guide board.
No, that has occurred to me.
Maybe a multi-sided structure
Yes.
with different sides to it with text. So you'd have to kind of walk around it and engage with it. But it would kind of tell a story as you walk around it.
That's what is in my mind too, but it's just a little bit too early to say. I could see a 3-sided sign, that'll stand on its own. And yes, I think that's a definite possibility, but it kind of depends on the content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to being both informative, accurate, and excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be neat if it, rather than it just being kind of a, kind of like information, if it could be kind of sculptural or have a kind of artistic component to it, so that, it could be like a thing that people would really get some pleasure out of, as well as finding it meaningful.
Yes.
Something to think about. And if we can find maybe an artist or, sort of somebody might want to work with us on it. I don't know.
Greg, were there other narratives that you were thinking about for this purpose?
Well, I'm just brainstorming really. It occurred to me that if it's a 3-sided piece, one side could definitely be tell the story of the indigenous peoples here. The other side could certainly tell the story of the colonial and European history. I don't know what we use the third for, if there's a third side. But
a map or something like that.
Yeah, maybe like that.
Something.
Maybe something like that, and some photos of some of the properties that the Historical Commission and exhibits that the Historical Commission owns. That makes a lot of sense. And I think it makes sense to have the colonial story told and the Native American story told, not necessarily separately, but individually.
Yeah.
But we've got to come up with the content first. But I think that's a reasonable starting point.
I think it's a good idea.
Get some flack from some people and tell that we're only doing Native stuff.
Well, I think it's essential in my mind if we're going to do
I didn't understand what
a project that represents the history of Shutesbury.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that from my notes. Henry, what did you just say?
Oh no, I just sorry, I'm mumbling. No, my comment was, it would be good to have a balanced kind of presentation of, right?
Yes.
People might complain otherwise. I don't know.
Well, I think it's fair to be balanced anyhow, as long as what we say is agreed upon by a diverse range of people. I mean, that gets difficult because, different people have different input and agendas, but we'll tackle that. But certainly, yes, I see the colonial story, the Native American story, and I think that's a good idea for the third side, if we do it this way, to be photographs, a map, historic map of Shutesbury, maybe a map of where Native peoples lived or moved before European contact. So 2 maps essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So for homework then, we should all be reviewing the piece that Miriam submitted and offering anything by way of revisions, additions. If it's going to be in three faces, 3 plaques,
panels,
that does give a bit more room. I suspect, though, I don't know, Miriam, it seems that to me that the piece, even as written, is a bit long.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
you summarized some of that stuff already, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
and I tried to cut it down, but I found it difficult. You know, again, maybe we don't want to go with this approach and focusing on the deeds, because if you get into the deeds, it gets complicated, but maybe we could simplify it more. I guess what I was struggling with is that rather than just reporting what were in the deeds, which it would be simpler, just you could have the text of the deeds. I felt like we needed to provide some context and some analysis for how to understand them within the context of what they meant and how they were used. Otherwise, you know,
yes, just a deed.
Just reading it doesn't give you any insight into who these people were and why they signed it.
Right.
Oh, great. This
and what they were
signed this. Great. But we don't know the circumstances without some explanation, context.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe even having a sample of some of the most egregious examples of deed transfer, the original.
I mean, a picture of a deed on the third side and commentary about that process, possibly. I think once we get down to the content, I can dummy up in real size the text, so we can say, oh, that's still too much content, or it'll work, you know. And it's got to be able to be read from probably 3 feet away, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And the colonial part, I mean, there's been some write-up already over that over a long period of time, and in the open space plans and master plans, I suppose, that we might at least be able to start with some of that description about Road Town or pre-Road Town and stuff for the other side. That there may be something that we can at least,
and the open space
start from. Yeah. Well. Yeah. And isn't some of that on our website too? The Historical Commission website?
No, not yet.
That was taken off? Oh, okay.
I might still be up. There's some stuff that's out of date.
Okay.
And we can also put links, literal links, not a barcode, the QR code to internet pages that explain in more detail than what you can fit on a sign.
That's a great idea.
If we like to do that, you've seen all the QR codes. Hold your camera up to it and takes you to Mass Historical or some other reliable website.
Or our website, even with content.
Yes.
So we could even make it much more abbreviated and say, for more information, click on this QR code, and then people can get a bigger story. I like that.
Yeah. There's no end to how much information we can put into a web page.
Anyway, something to think about. We don't have a timeline. There's no timeline on this. We gotta get it right. Take our time.
That's correct. I think that we haven't. There's no deadline.
Okay.
All right.
But I like those ideas. I'm glad we discussed it.
Yeah.
Much better than what I was envisioning, just like one very long lettered sign.
That doesn't work.
I'll raise this subject then, because it occurred to me maybe, and just maybe, the sign or the display might be better at the new library rather than the town common. And I don't know what people think about that, but that's just occurred to me as well. Just something to consider.
That's an idea. Yeah.
All right.
Wherever I think it's going to get most seen and read.
I mean, that's the key, right? To get people to actually motivated to look at this, to read it.
Wherever it goes, it should be somewhere where there is passing traffic, preferably foot traffic, and whether it's the town common or the library. That's the only two places I can think of. But the town hall, I suppose, too, could be a site.
Okay.
All right. To be continued. We don't have any other issues on the board unless there's any unanticipated business. Is there anything
Well, Greg, you were last meeting, we couldn't talk about it, but you wanted to make an announcement about.
I was considering not rejoining the commission as a commissioner, but becoming an associate. But it occurred to me as we're talking about that project in particular, maybe I should wait till I've contributed to that project what I can, although I could still contribute as an associate. I just not a natural for meetings and protocol and what is it, the various policies that the state has and whatnot. I don't feel like I've got a lot of patience or gift for this sort of stuff, but I absolutely intend to continue to be involved and to volunteer on the various things that we can do. I like the idea of working with the commission, but I'm not sure that I need to be a commissioner. It's a doubt I have.
When does your appointment run out?
Well, I was only appointed a year ago. I'm not sure. I was looking to see if I had a letter from Grace, but I don't think I do.
So you must still be under your
I
present appointment.
I'll check with Grace.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think it would be great if you could stay on a little longer and
yes.
help, because I think you could be a real help on this.
Well, either way, I can and will.
Yeah. Okay.
I just checked online and the new posting says Greg Carlton's term runs out in 2025.
Well, whoa. That helps to have someone who knows where to find this information. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Leslie.
That helps actually, because the whole idea of doing what Grace wants us to do was feeling a bit overwhelming. So that's good. Thanks, Leslie.
Yeah, we need a lot of time. Believe me, 2025 will be more like 2050.
Right.
Well, thanks, that's helpful.
We appreciate everything you've done and anticipate what you will do with this thing, and so it's up to you, really.
Right. Well, I'll let you know. Okay. At the moment, I've decided that I'd be probably best staying as a commissioner to work on those projects, the historical projects that we're talking about.
Good.
And if I don't have to go through the bureaucracy till 2025, I can handle that. That sounds good.
Good. Yeah. Miriam, are you going to send a copy of this draft to Bert so he can see what we're up to?
I already sent it to him.
I read it.
Okay. Okay, great.
Got it.
Good, thanks. Cool.
Thanks.
Karen, any thoughts on the? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Okay. No. Yeah. I just wondered about the blurb for the that we just discussed, the native.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of it?
No.
Karen?
Oh yeah. No, I gave you a copy.
Yes. The history behind the indigenous people. Yeah.
That's right.
I just read that. Yeah.
Okay, well then we should all read it and submit comments.
That's right.
Yes,
to ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try.
Okay. So no other unanticipated business, right?
Nope.
Okay. Anything?
Will the email from Mary Lou be on the next meeting agenda? Because I wanted to speak to that whenever that is discussed. And also the draft letter that I sent, will that be on the next one? Because I wanted to know whose signature goes at the bottom. I put mine on simply because it would have been easy to get my signature.
So what email was it?
I sent, well, Mary Lou sent an email about dropping a school desk off at the front door of the West Schoolhouse, and I don't know if that has to wait for the next meeting. And also the draft letter of thanks that to Michael Pill for the postcard that I prepared.
We should talk about those tonight, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
let's-
it could be
Right,
new
right.
business, right?
Definitely. Whose signature should be on that letter?
Well, yours possibly, Henry.
That's fine. I'm happy to do it. I mean, Leslie's already signed off on it.
But I can easily change that. I've got to go in and change it from draft anyway. I didn't know if it would save Henry a trip up, and since I tend to work more on the Michael Pill has given a very lot of valuable stuff over the years. So I've worked with him for years, but I'm more than glad to switch it to Henry's, and I could just leave the letter in the town hall assessor's mailbox for him to get up and sign at his convenience.
All right.
I'll do that before I leave tonight.
That sounds like a plan. I'll be up there tomorrow.
Well, should we take a vote on the letter? I mean, I don't feel like we need to have a vote. I think it's a great idea, and thank you, Leslie, for drafting
Yes,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the desk?
The what now?
The
The
desk.
School.
For Mary Lou.
School-
I don't
school
know what
desk?
kind of desk it is, Mary Lou. Do you have a picture of it?
She's muted. Okay, hold on. Let me ask to unmute. Why is she not able to speak? Hello, Mary Lou. Last time she said that she was muted and could not. That's
Yeah.
I don't know how to unmute her. Yeah. No. Mary Lou. Ask her to unmute.
Maybe she stepped away from the computer.
Not muted now.
She's not muted now.
Ah, good.
Oh, Mary Lou. We're talking about a desk, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I missed that.
A school
Leslie,
desk.
are there desks in the old schoolhouse?
May I make a comment?
Yes.
Sure.
The schoolhouse was the storage place for all the Shutesbury materials that came out of all the Shutesbury one-room schoolhouses, and it was filled to the gills. And when the commission started up, the people set up a typical classroom with all Shutesbury desks, with all Shutesbury texts, with all Shutesbury maps hanging on the wall, not maps of Shutesbury, but all materials from our schools. If you have never been in that building, it's worth seeing.
Yes.
And we, in the previous, when there was a whole different historical commission, we had a practice for space reasons. First of all, let me just say that I think Mary Lou's offer is very generous, very kind, and very thoughtful, but the schoolhouse is already filled with desks originating from Shutesbury schoolhouses, and books, and the materials are all from Shutesbury schoolhouses, and it is full. And we had a previous practice on the previous commission, because of space limitations everywhere, that our accession would only be things that clearly were associated with Shutesbury. And what I was hoping was that Mary Lou might consider instead offering it back to Shutesbury, offering it back to Amherst or Amherst Historical Society, or looking for a museum that has more space, because to start introducing things that are not related to Shutesbury that we do not have space for or need for, I'm not a voting member, but I just think that you should look and see where you're going to put this desk before it gets dropped at the doorstep.
Okay. Good to know. I haven't been in there.
Been there. I haven't been in there since my term expired on the commission, and before I did, I scrubbed the place from top to bottom. But I'm guessing it needs cleaning again. It doesn't stay clean, but there's only so much I can do.
We should really address that.
Because we have a work day for that too.
We really need to go in, I think, and do an inspection.
Yeah.
Would you like to maybe do that, set that up, Leslie, and give us set it up a work party where we could go in and take a look and do some work on it if you feel like there's.
Well, frankly, I work 2 part-time jobs. I'm working over 40 hours a week. I'm just barely keeping up with research. The key to the West Schoolhouse, at least one of them, is in the desk drawer in the closet. Okay. I personally don't want to take on oversight of the West School any longer. As I say, I left it in pristine condition, thinking I would never be back. And I do have to limit myself and I think for me, the important thing is trying to figure out these papers and records in the closet. I thank you. Mm-hmm. And as far as I'm concerned, the worst is mice are in there and mold, but someone should look sometime. We used to open it once a year, open all the windows, air it out, scrub it top to bottom, vacuum it. David Jolivet, who is no longer alive, used to take his leaf blower and clean the roof.
Well, maybe a once a year work day for the school would be a good thing.
Yeah, and after that, then have it open to the public that same time frame is what we used to do.
Yes, I remember I went in there once when it was open.
It may not be of interest to people right now, and I know everybody is as busy as me, but I'm not. I'm backing out of that one. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to say that before you accept things that are not Shutesbury things, take a look, because you may find that it's full enough without introducing non-Shutesbury items.
That makes sense.
I know there are 2 schoolhouses around here. Which one are we talking about?
The one at the end of West Pelham, or the junction of West Pelham and North Levitt Road.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That one is owned by the municipality. The one on Schoolhouse Road is owned by Sirius Community, I believe.
Right.
I wonder if they need a desk or could use a desk.
Possibly.
Yeah. So do we have a motion? Are we voting on something?
I think we should just at some point figure out a time to go over and open it up and see what work needs to be done, and then arrange a day.
Well, there's the specific question of Mary Lou's desk too. Do we want to thank her for that, but say no thanks, or do we want to check with someone? Want to check with the Sirius Community if they have a place for it?
I could check, since I live across the street from them.
Right. Thank you.
I know the guy who's actually refurbished that space over the years. John Shershin. Mm-hmm. So I'll ask him.
Yeah.
I volunteer if I get it the first of the week, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Okay, for clean up at the West Pelham Road School?
Yeah.
Okay.
I volunteer. Need some help, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, what do we think about an annual cleanup of that schoolhouse? Just a maintenance cleanup.
I think we have to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good idea. It's an important resource, and you can't just leave it closed and hope for the best.
You think once a year is enough?
It should be. Nobody's going in and out.
Possibly in the spring and the fall, but at least in the fall, which is coming up. When do we start with that?
Yeah.
Just that if there's mice and mold, maybe there should be more remediation if we want to conserve.
Well, yes, I guess it depends what we find in there. Yeah, you could be right. But do we want to? I mean, there's the issue of Mary Lou's desk. I think we don't need it for the West Pelham Road Schoolhouse. And then there's the issue of, do we want to plan a day as a maintenance day at the West Pelham Road Schoolhouse?
Yes, although maybe we should wait till September.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, just a little cooler, breezier.
Drier.
Yeah, drier.
Why
Well,
don't we,
it's dry.
Why don't we decide at the next meeting?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, put it on the agenda, right?
Okay, well, don't need to vote on anything right now. In any case. So shall we adjourn?
When's the next meeting?
When is the next meeting? Well,
That's a good question.
I suspect it will be in September.
Well, we're kind of on the schedule to do, remember, this was a makeup meeting
Yep.
that we scheduled because we couldn't meet in July. Do we want to just skip the rest of August and meet, it would be the end of September then. It would be like whatever the fourth Wednesday is.
It's the 28th.
That
Do you
works.
want to wait that long?
There's nothing really pending at the moment.
Depends
Outside
on
of
what we,
cleaning the house. That should be done in September before the cold weather really sets in.
yeah, and maybe we'll have an update on the guide board by then too.
Do we need to sort of choose a date while we're in meeting, or can we choose a date amongst ourselves, a maintenance of the school, just organise it separately? Does it need to be a
That could
meeting made decision?
No, I think that could be organized separately. But I'm just saying for the next regular meeting, are we meeting on the 28th of September?
Yes, in that
earlier
case.
in September too.
What, Henry?
I thought we could meet earlier if we need to. I don't know.
Okay. Do we want to pick a date now while everybody's here?
Let's look at the calendar.
Well, a week earlier, possibly, or 2 weeks earlier. That would be a week earlier, September 21, and a week before that, September 14, which is about a month away. So maybe that's September 14th would be good if it's available.
That on a Wednesday, or what day is that?
Yeah,
that's a Wednesday. And as long as it's available on the town schedule, on the Zoom schedule.
What day is that? 21st
or the 14th, you were saying?
14th,
14th.
which is pretty close to a month away.
Yeah, well, that might be. What does everybody think about the 14th?
I have no objection to it. I'm available.
Yeah, and if we find we don't need it, then we could just, cancel it. But if we have anything that we want to do, even if it's just to organize for going over to the schoolhouse and stuff, it would be good.
Yeah.
And just looking on the September 14th. It doesn't, to my observation, there's nothing on September the 14th on the town calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So there won't be.
I just updated it. For some reason, somebody had scheduled us for October 3rd. I don't know.
I wondered about that.
I didn't do that. So I think that Grace did it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I changed it to September 14th.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds like a winner.
Plug that in.
At 7:30?
No, 7.
7 o'clock.
7. Okay.
2 days before.
Okay.
1 day before. There we go.
And Mary Lou, are you there?
She sent us an email saying she didn't have a microphone working.
Oh, microphone doesn't work. Okay, got it.
But she's got her hand raised.
Got her hand raised. Go right ahead. I don't know how to unmute you beyond what I've already done. I've unmuted you. I don't know what else to do to.
And he pressed *6.
Say again.
*6.
*6.
Press *6.
What? I should do that?
No, that's if you're calling
Mary
in.
Lou.
I think Mary Lou's on
Mary
a
Lou should do
computer.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mary Lou.
don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what to do to get her audio online.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, she's unmuted. I don't know.
If not for tonight, for next time.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. All right then. I will move to adjourn. Do I hear a
I'll
second?
vote for that. Yes.
Second by Karen. Let's go around and Colton.
Yes.
Defunct. Defunct?
Yes.
Yes. Zeronka. Did I mispronounce your name?
No, you got it right.
Zeronka.
Karen, yes.
Karen. Zeronka.
Yes.
How do you pronounce your name?
Same as
CH.
Zeronka.
Yeah. Zeronka. Yeah.
Zeronka. Okay. Excellent. Did I say Geddes? I. Stone.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Cool. Stay cool.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Stay cool. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.